Hello and welcome to the MT Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host right here is Kyle Heath. This is the show where we cover gaming industry related news of the last week. With this week, we're going to talk a little bit about how U.S. lawmakers are asking the FTC basically like, yo, what's the deal with this $55 billion EA deal? There's some negative impacts that might hit workers, so we're going to dive into that. We're going to follow it up with a nice little article about, well, it's not really nice, it's kind of doom and gloom. A third of the labor force within the gaming industry were laid off. So we're going to talk about that over the last 2 years. Fable reboots, we'll dive into some games, and then finish it off with developer commissions on Steam and potential lawsuits for that. So it's a little bit more of a business heavy, but it's all industry related. So without further ado, Kyle, how you up to? You staying warm, man? I see the cat.
Yeah,
Cat's
yeah,
being a cat.
yeah. I'm trying to stay warm. It's cold around these parts where we are, and it's gonna get colder over the
Freezing.
weekend. So by the time this is out, it'll be even colder. So
Yeah, we're supposed to have record amounts of snow where we're at. So
yeah, yeah. It's
it's
same
gonna
here.
be
So
crazy.
yeah, not really looking forward to that. Well, there's like it's cool to see snow in the South, like because we just never really get it, right? So it's cool in that aspect. It's not fun how
Yeah,
like it shuts things down though. So it's like
agreed.
that's not great. But
Dude, the South is so ill prepared for it, man. It's
yeah,
brutal.
yeah. And see, I work, a hybrid job, so like I can work remote and stuff. So it's like there's no
Same.
days off. The internet's working. So
True.
there's that too. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of stuff we get. I mean, dude, as for me, this past week, did I don't know, there was a decent amount I played and watched and whatnot. I know, kind of last week was Developer Direct for Xbox.
Yeah.
I got around to watching that kind of after. I think it was like the day after or something like that, or maybe even later that day. I got to watching it. And obviously for me, like Fable and the Fable sort of reboot, getting all the info about that was my favorite part of it. I mean, there was that like kind of like vase fighting game that I think Double Fine was working on. I thought
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
kind of interesting. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever play it personally, but it's definitely a different idea. So it's cool to see that. I kind of see, the love they've been putting into that game because it seems like kind of a labor of love almost, and like a weird idea that they spawned. So it's cool to see that. I mean, it seemed like racing, seeing the racing game stuff is cool. I mean, and then obviously Game Freak kind of working on new IP of sorts. It was cool to see all that, but like the Fable stuff is really what I was like there for, and I think probably most people were watching for. And so just seeing the world, I go into it with like such cautious optimism because I really want the game to be good. And like what they showed, at least in this kind of sort of like extended preview, is looked really promising. The only thing that was kind of dicey for me was, and everyone else saw it that watched it, was like the frame rates were very choppy at times and some of the gameplay they were showing. That is certainly concerning, and that's, I think, I kind of just like poured a little bit of like fuel onto my cautious optimism fire. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
we'll see as we get closer. They didn't announce a definitive date. They just said fall of 26. So we'll see kind of if that holds up. It's always that's another thing kind of as my like, it might get delayed because like, when you're sort of that, not necessarily close, but when it's within the same year and you're still not sure about a date, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying games haven't released the same year, but it does get a little kind of dicier as you
Yeah.
start approaching the season and it's like, all right, we don't have a date yet. So
Yeah. If you don't have a date yet within a year time frame, I don't really trust it. Like
it's
official
hard to, it's
date.
hard to.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I get it if it's like I could see it being season 2026, so it's like fall or summer or whatever. Winter 2026. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so they're shooting for a window.
yeah,
They don't know the exact launch date yet. But everything's digital now, so I don't think it's as pressing
yeah, probably
to get
not.
so locked in.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Regardless, I mean, I've certainly read other things afterwards. They're going to be, some of the story is taking almost like an office style of like filming approach, especially for the cinematics. So it'll be kind of like a fourth wall sort of breaking aspect to some of the
Oh yeah.
storytelling. I'll be interested to see how that works. It's certainly something different. I think it's a bit of a risk, but I'm not at all against risks, especially in games like that, like trying different things. I mean, you kind of have to if you want to try and push, you know, your game and your medium forward and try and do something different, right? So I'm not against that at all. I think what they offer in terms of like the NPC depth is something that, if executed correctly, would be, would certainly kind of I won't be as ambitious as like push a genre forward, but it's definitely going to be like a step up for most games in terms of its PC interactivity
Right.
and kind of each sort of NPC having their own sort of day night cycle and their own kind of routine. So I think that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean the combat for what we saw, it looks sick minus those frame chops. That was like the only thing I was kind of like, ugh. If they can get that cleaned up, I'm sure gameplay will be phenomenal. So I'll be curious to see if more reveals they reveal more and they show more and hopefully optimize more over kind of like 11th hour before they put this game out. So we'll see if it ends
100%.
up
Yeah.
landing this year, but at least what they showed, I was, again, majority impressed, but there's still kind of certainly some cleanup that needs to be done. So we'll see. Regardless, looking forward to knowing more. So yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know. And I mean, before I get onto what I kind of more of what I did you have any like initial thoughts on Fable? Because I mean, we'll get to it a little bit later, but just I'm curious what your kind of like immediate thoughts were.
So I never really got super into Fable when I was younger. All my friends played all of it. I think I was just a mindless. I only play like shooters and racing games. That was kind of my thing for forever. I only really started branching out in college. But Fable, a lot of my buddies that are actually like they played it growing up, they're all super excited for the
Yeah,
reboot. I think it's just a fresh start to have the game kind of come back. Uh, it's been a while, and maybe it's just what the gaming industry needs. And most importantly, I think like Xbox needs it. They've kind of been struggling
yeah,
with like the
badly.
IPs. I think so. If they can, if they can knock it out of the park with Fable, I think that'd be really good. That's kind of my initial thought.
Yeah, I think
But yeah,
like and hearing more into like the last thing I'll say about it until we talk about the article, like hearing more about kind of the game and kind of reviewing some of the history again with Fable and what I think Lion it's like Lion something I forget the name of the developer that originally did it, but like that developer that
yeah,
originally made it was very much on the promise of like they had a lot of empty promises in their press releases, especially towards like Fable. I think it was like Fable 2 or
Lionhead.
3. Yeah, Lionhead is very kind of over promising about the previous entries, whether it was like 2 or 3,
Yeah.
saying like, "Oh, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that." Oh, it's yeah, and it was like, I mean, it was pretty like insane stuff at the time that sounded too good to
Hmm.
be true, and sure enough, it was. And so it's like
Yeah, for the time, yeah.
the franchise kind of had a history of that. Granted, it's not Lionhead anymore, obviously. It's Playground Games. So like you have that, but you also have a combination of Playground, which is like obviously still like Forza and the racing stuff, and they're kind of branching into this, and they've been spending a lot of time on this. So I think there's certainly a lot of expectations coming into this release. So hopefully they hit it out of the park. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see on that front. But yeah, it's cool seeing the Fable stuff, seeing developer direct stuff. Outside of that, I think since the last time I have seen the remaining 2 Lord of the Rings films. So that was kind of the
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like this weekend. Feels like it was like a month ago I saw that. But no, I mean they were. I mean, I have no notes, Mike. They were just really good. Um, to why I didn't see them
I'm
sooner, I
just
don't know, but here
well,
we
I'm
are.
glad that you finally got a chance to see it, especially in theaters. And now I can finally make like memes and stuff about it,
Yeah,
and you'll get it.
exactly.
There's a lot of cool games. So Battlefield Middle Earth 2 might have been one of the first RTS games I ever played, because I think that's what it classifies as. Let me just double check to make sure I know what the heck I'm talking about here. I don't want to get it wrong. Uh, Battle for Middle Earth 2. Yeah, so is it? Yeah, real-time strategy RTS. Cool. With RPG elements. Dude, it came out in like 2006 or something for the Xbox 360. It was the first like real land game I got a chance to play. So much fun. It's such an amazing game, and I was watching people play it on YouTube, and apparently there's like an entire community where people still like game
That's
and
amazing.
play that. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. And also what like branched out for me is I got a buddy. Do you know what the Kyber mod is for Star Wars Battlefront 2?
No,
Have you heard about this? So EA, which we're going to talk about later, they kind of gave up on Star Wars Battlefront 2. They gave up is like they just pulled the plug on the resources for frequent updates and honestly like anti-cheat, banning people for modding and stuff like that. Because for a while they had a really bad habit of there were a lot of cheaters and it kind of ruined the experience for everybody. Now, the Kyber mod is by Nexus Mods, and it is like a third-party launcher where you can have all your mods like there, like unlocked, and you'll have all your guns unlocked, all the attachments unlocked, all the cars unlocked, all the heroes unlocked, and all the game modes are unlocked. And then they also made it more efficient as well. So it's like the loading screens aren't as brutal as they were before. It's like a much more, it's a smooth experience. It's still in beta. There's some things that they're definitely are trying to add, but it was really cool. I've been playing that like the last couple of nights with another one of my buddies that we like got super big into Battlefront when it launched. I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but that was honestly my second game that I started trying to stream seriously was Battlefront 2. The other one was PUBG, but it was so much fun. And to get back on there and see there's this entire community that's like made a modding custom game browser community. They have official servers. They're all dedicated servers. They have proximity chat in it as well. It's like they've added healthy features to the game. And it's like, dude, I kind of want to. What else is out there where there's just like communities entirely built around one or two games that are like kind of legendary games or legendary IPs, but they're keeping it alive on their own because the developers have just moved on to bigger projects, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
kind of Halo 2 is that way with the Project Cartographer, but it was just cool. Like you can customize, dude. You can play as like Ahsoka Tana from
Gee,
like the Clone Wars saga and like
that's
the TV
crazy.
show, of course.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, this is so sick. But yeah,
That's pretty wild. Yeah, man. I think. I mean, it's cool to see like this community's kind of still staying alive. So yeah, it's always dope to see
oh yeah,
that. But yeah, dude, I was because I had messaged you right after the movies. I was like, yeah, dude, where's the
yeah,
game? I mean, like, where's my Lord of the Rings game? And obviously, there's like a big, I think there's like a big sort of MMO thing in the works.
yeah. There is. Yeah,
So I
they've
know
had
there's
it
that.
for a while now. Um, I think it
Yeah,
actually already exists, dude.
yeah. I don't know. I think I saw a video recently saying there was like more detail on it or something.
Lord of the Rings Online. Let's see.
Um,
That might be really old. Yeah, 2007.
yeah, I think they're working on something new. Like studios working on something new. But anyways, I mean, there's that. I actually have Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War in my Steam library. I just like never installed it. I got it for free like ages ago, but I have like Shadow of Mordor installed now, so I do plan to eventually get to it at some point. So there's that. In terms of other games I played some more Valheim. That was a lot of fun. Played some CS2. That was a lot of fun. And then I started Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and I've done the prologue so far in that game. Oh, Mike, it might hook me. It might hook me. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I enjoyed kind of a little bit the prologue sort of story. I think it sets the game up pretty well. So I'm excited to continue playing and see what other characters are like and just see how the story unfolds because it's like a lot kind of happens in the prologue and then like the title screen starts and like the opening credits and stuff start and you're like okay there's like that seemed like that took a while. It's like 3-4 hours it took me to get through that, and then it's like, oh, title screen, okay. Now the game is
Okay.
starting. Like, all right, this is about to be a long
Yeah.
one. So
Oh, let's start grinding.
yeah, and then sure enough, I look up the time to play, and it's like it's like 42 hours if you like don't do side quests or things. That's insane. There's a lot of content. So we're talking like Witcher 3 levels of content in this game. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Plan to dive in deeper over this weekend and play some more. Cause I'll be snowed in, right? So gotta find something to do. So
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah,
playing
if we're
some of
snowed
that.
in, I just hope I don't lose internet or power.
Yeah, that's where I'm at
But
too. It's like, yeah, if I have power, I'm playing. So,
yeah, I
so
think I'm gonna be working most of the weekend, and my goal is to like get as much stuff as I possibly can get done, so that I get my like I feed the guys that I have with me work, and then I can just be chilling at home on the couch playing like Hogwarts Legacy.
I've been doing something, man.
Because yeah, it's like have a really relaxing Monday. That would be my goal.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
But yeah,
So yeah, it works out. But yeah, outside of that, I think that was it. That was all I played, watched, did over this past week. What about you, Mike? Did you play Work Simulator 24
yeah.
7?
Well, work was always kind of bad, like for the last like month, but yesterday was brutal. Absolutely ruthless. Like this week's been rough. But when I have had time to actually like game, I've been playing a little bit of Halo, mostly like Halo 3, MCC, Halo 2. But I got back on COD. I had a lot of fun with that. I had played Hogwarts Legacy. I'm still doing Doom: The Dark Ages. My buddy that I've been talking to, he is preaching that I need to get on Arc Raiders. I've been watching a lot of like Burnt Peanut content,
Yeah.
and I think it might be time. I think it might be time to jump on. And then Star Wars is what I was saying earlier. Uh, the problem is like I wish I could just sit home all day and just play video games.
Yeah. Be rather nice, right?
Fortunately, I could not.
Be rather nice. But yeah. I don't know, dude. Hopefully it's not too bad for you this weekend.
Yeah. No, I know what I need to do, and it's more of a it's within my own self-interest to do it. It's not like I'm shooting for a deadline. It's more of like if I do it now, everything becomes easier during the week in the next month.
And
So
I've
it's
been
like
there.
it's like I'm already screwed for the month of January. Let's just finish it out strong, and then I get to have like podcast night with you, and I spend the vast majority of my time not mentioning work once and only talking about Hogwarts Legacy and like where I'm at on it, or how I like Doom: The Dark Ages, or I'm like streaming Arc Raiders or something. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah,
So I'm
hopefully.
shooting for that.
Hopefully, I'm rooting for you, man. Hopefully you get that. Because that would
Yeah,
be
man.
pretty sick for you. Yeah.
You know, be sick for us though, is if we jump into the articles.
Hey.
Yeah, yo. Start
Crazy.
us off with the first one, the crazy one.
Yeah, we're starting off pretty crazy this week. We got a little gamesindustry.biz. Got Alex Forbes Calvin on this one. U.S. lawmakers ask FTC to thoroughly review $55 billion EA deal, warning of potential negative impact on workers. Given the scale of this acquisition and EA's current dominance over the domestic video game labor market, we believe careful scrutiny of the deal is essential. I would agree as a consumer. Just saying.
I want to know what lawmakers actually said all of this because it's like it's definitely messed up how this is able to happen, but it's gonna like my guess is because it's if you remember, it's not Trump's son, it's his son-in-law, the one that's married to Ivanka, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mix up who it is. Um, yeah, but he's the one like representing a large conglomerate of like private equity to partner up with Saudi Arabia to purchase EA. And
That's
it's
insane.
like, dude, so like I'm just like gonna speculate and be like it's probably just gonna be a whole bunch of Democrats that are like, oh, it's the it's the Republican president's son-in-law. It's like, or you can know you could just not let monopolies happen too. That could be an option.
Yep. The United States Congressional Labor Caucus has written to the Federal Trade Commission to raise concerns about the potential impact of a proposed $55 billion acquisition of Electronic Arts led by Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. In the letter, as spotted by Aftermath, the group of U.S. lawmakers asked that FTC Chair Andrew Ferguson review the deal thoroughly. The letter is signed by 46 House Democrats and has the backing of the Communications Workers of American Union, which is the parent of most
FTC.
of the bargaining units currently operating the U.S. video game industry. Caucus's objections stem from concerns regarding how this deal will affect workers, especially as the deal is financed with at least $20 billion of debt. Quote, which creates strong incentives for the acquiring firms to pursue further cost-cutting measures, including layoffs, offshoring, and restructuring, or studio closures. It's very true.
Yeah.
Makes point.
Yeah, they didn't they make I think when they said they were gonna do the acquisition, they were gonna guarantee that certain amounts of people wouldn't be laid off.
Yeah,
It's just nuts. Yep.
pretty nuts.
Anyways.
The group also points to EA cutting over 1,700 jobs in the United States alone since 2023. In addition, the Labor Caucus has concerns about the potential for EA's labor marketing dominance due to the business connections the publishing giant's buyers have, such as Silver Lake's links to talent agency WME and sports giant TKO Group Holdings, and the PIF owning LIV Golf or Live Golf. I've heard of Live Golf, I think. I sure heard of that.
Yeah. So, Live Golf was supposed to be the alternative and direct competitor of the PGA Tour. So the thing that
Uh,
made Live Golf slightly different, I don't remember what it stands for, by the way. But Live Golf was kind of different because it was more of like a party atmosphere. It was like fun golf, whereas
yeah.
PGA was way more prestigious.
Well, I've heard of like Live Nightclub, right? Is that a thing? Pretty
Yeah,
sure it
that's
is.
definitely a thing, but I think that might have
Or is
something
it
else to
like,
do
or
with
is
it.
it they're exclusive? I don't know, mutually exclusive. I don't know.
Let's see what Live stands for. Oh, it refers to the Roman numerals for 54, the number of holes played at Live events.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so 54 golf, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
The final concern raised by the group is citing the FTC's 2023 merger guidelines, which states that deals that impact workers, hold down wages, or enable dominant firms to reduce labor demand may violate antitrust laws. Caucus appears to believe that this would apply to EA's acquisition. Given the scale of the acquisition and EA's current dominance over the domestic video game labor market, we believe careful scrutiny of this deal is essential, the caucus wrote. The letter concluded, saying, quote, "We respectfully urge the commission to conduct a thorough investigation into the labor market consequences of this proposed acquisition, including EA's existing wage-setting power, the likelihood of post-transaction layoffs, the degree of labor market concentration in relevant geographic and occupational markets, and the role of cross-ownership in shaping labor outcomes. Workers deserve a fair, competitive marketplace where their skills are valued." And then it talks about at the end of the article, it says, in September 2025, EA confirmed reports that it is set to be acquired by PIF, a private equity firm, Silver Lake, and investment outfit Affinity Partners for $55 billion. Due to its stakes in the other players of the deal, the PIF will own more than 93.4% of Electronic Arts should the deal be approved. EA shareholders have backed the acquisition. Yeah, so a little pushback, like a little, listen, like, let's hold up
Little bit of a
here.
nudge.
Let's hold up
Yeah.
here. We got a lot of debt in this deal. There's a lot that could happen. They could have the power to do if this goes through. We should investigate. We should at least dot our I's, cross our T's, just a little bit before this goes through.
Yeah, but even after the acquisition and merger of Xbox and Blizzard, it's like, or Activision Blizzard, it's like, they're probably not going to overturn this. I mean, maybe they will, only because it's like the the major financial pool is coming from a foreign government that historically has been an adversary to the West. So it's like, maybe that could be an issue. But at the end of the day, it's like this is America. If you got the money, they're gonna let you do it. You know.
But
So
this is Saudi Arabia. Just kidding.
yeah, it is. But it's like I guess they're kind of our allies now.
Yeah.
So long as they stay alive. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know enough like politically. Um, but I do think the private equity stuff that gets into everything like hand wise, yeah, it's like it's nuts how that money just transfers from place to place.
It is pretty nuts. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, look, I agree. It should be reviewed, I think, to a certain extent. I would hate for this to just go through under no review and then, like, kind of
Yeah,
there's potential for these negative impacts to happen, especially on the workers. So I totally agree with this. I think it should be done. It should be reviewed. And who
yeah,
knows, like,
probably.
look, it should be reviewed. Like, how thorough are they going to be? I don't know. But, like, I don't know. At least don't just let it, like, pass like that without any review whatsoever, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. It's gotta, but at the end of the day, it's like you can pay somebody off to get it done. I guess.
That's
I
what I'm saying.
mean,
Like, that's why I'm like, I mean, you could review it, but, like, how much do you
yeah,
trust it, I guess, is still kind of there. So, I don't
dude.
know.
In the Premier League, the English Premier League, they have teams owned by Saudi Arabia.
Does not surprise me.
And they like the UK for a long time was pretty serious about those types of acquisitions, and they actually have like codified rules where a certain percentage of English players have to be in each one of the teams. But it's I guess there's ways to get around it. It's not. It's like it can be stress test. I
Yeah.
guess is probably the best way to say it.
Yeah. I think it's fair.
Yeah, but you're doing a thorough review of a $55 billion deal to make sure that like, hey, we got to make sure that the workers don't lose their freaking jobs because there's a lot of people that are employed via EA or all the like companies and developers that are underneath that umbrella that have deals with EA. Like that's a pretty big deal. Yep.
Yeah, it's true. They could just slip you an extra Billy, be like, "Hey, it looks good, right?"
Just one or two. Yeah, it looks good, right? I mean, Uncle Sam got to get his cut too.
True.
Yeah.
Speaking of cuts, oh, that was
Oh
should have
no.
said that.
All right. Yeah, but it does tie right in, like pretty good. This one's coming from Variety.com. Variety News. Jennifer Moss,
I
Maas.
think Moss because it's two A's, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that too, but I don't, probably Moss. Um, yeah, this one's kind of interesting. So apparently, if you guys remember from the last 2 years, there's just been a crazy amount of layoffs all across the video game industry, top to bottom, and tech. So of course, we get a little bit bigger of a picture. So one third of U.S. video game industry workers were laid off over the last 2 years, and GDC study reveals. We've covered GDC a bunch of times. They're pretty accurate with their surveys and just overall, probably temperature check of the video game industry is probably the best way to put it. Yeah, so let's get into it. One third of U.S. video game industry workers say they were laid off over the past 2 years, according to a new survey conducted by the organizers behind the newly revamped Game Developers Conference, GDC. Um, Based on responses from more than 2,300 gaming industry professionals, with surveys customized for each participant group, ensuring that developers, marketers, executives, investors, and others answered questions most relevant to them. The 2026 State of the Game Industry report found that 33% of respondents in the US were laid off in the past 2 years. That stat reduces to 28% when looking on a global scale. Half of those surveyed reported their current or most recent employer has conducted layoffs in the past 12 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
50% of people on the survey were like, yeah, I mean,
I
boss
believe
is
it.
laying people off.
I believe it.
It's been dude, 2 years ago? Like, that's the past 12 months. I don't think it's as bad, but 2 years ago, it was like, yeah, everybody was getting laid off.
2023 is
Um,
reckoning. You know what I'm saying?
Brutal, brutal time. All right, so for the report, oh, by the way, 2023 was 3 years ago, which is crazy. Um, per the report, those at AAA studios were highly likely to have experienced layoffs at their companies. Two-thirds of respondents at AAA studios said their companies had layoffs. One-third of people working at indie studios reported the same. The team also surveyed a smaller group of game educators and students to capture a snapshot of those challenges facing the next generation. The report, which can be downloaded for free, provides the latest data and analysis on layoffs, generative AI adoption, and sentiment, unionization efforts, development platforms, and priorities, business pressures, and everything. Basically, key insights from the report. This is what was from the report. A little bit of snippet for you. The survey also found that 82% of US based respondents support the unionization of game industry workers, with 5% opposed and 13% unsure. According to the results, support was higher among workers earning under 200,000 per year, 87%. Those who have been laid off in the past 2 years, 88%, and people younger than 45, 86%. No respondents aged 18 to 24 were opposed to unionization. Yeah, youngers, younger generation, man, they're all pro union in the US, which is interesting because it's like in most places in the world, Western society, it's like unionization is kind of common, or the government just straight up regulates business to the level of like protecting the public and
Yeah,
consumers and people who work there. So it's I think these numbers are very, very staggering. If you would have ran this survey, I think 20 years ago, these results would have been vastly different, I think. I really do.
yeah,
I mean, 20 years ago would put us in 2005, 2006, before the great financial crisis. That's when people were still believing like so long like they believed more in meritocracy. I think people under the age of 24 are just like the game's rigged, it's stacked against me, I can't do anything.
yeah.
And yeah, there's nothing I can do to get out. I see that a lot
Hey, man.
in gaming with young people, man.
I mean,
Doomers.
I guess there's certain to a certain extent you can't really blame them, right, for thinking that way. It's like it's hard to look at a lot of stuff and just be like, yeah. I'm optimistic. So
It's it's freaking dark, man. Like, I
it
know
honestly is.
people that are in that age group and they just feel like they don't have freaking opportunities, man. You have to make that choice. It's like, do I go grind it out, get a degree that costs me an arm and a leg, and then hopefully get a job? Which, by the way, the largest percentage of unemployment right now are people that are highly educated with degrees. And I'm not talking about like underwater basket weaving or social studies. It's like these guys have like STEM. They're having difficulty getting jobs in STEM now because the AI bot farms your freaking
Yeah.
resume and you can't get
Jeez.
past the wall. It's crazy,
I mean,
dude.
just AI in general. Like, I think
It's so
I'm
bad.
starting to hit the like. I need to like focus on AI or like pay attention to it because I'm like,
Oh yeah.
my job could be gone in 2 years, man, and that's like it's scary to think about. Um,
Yeah. See, I feel like I've been paying attention to it for a long time because I always thought that we were gonna go to automation. I didn't know it would look like the way it is right now. So I got a job where my primary focus now is what do you call it? Like I'm in the business of liability at the end of the day. Like if you're building something, somebody needs to be liable for it in the United States if it collapses or something goes wrong.
yeah,
And it has to be a person. So I was like, well, screw it. I'm gonna go that route. Let's get it done
yeah,
and take on the responsibility. But it's like, yeah, stressful. But at the same day, it's like I'm not gonna have to struggle for a job, like pretty much ever. Can't automate liability. That's why there's no self-driving cars anywhere, like by themselves. There are. Give it a couple of months. We're gonna see a wreck, lawsuits at the wazoo, and that business goes under. Anyways, let us continue. There's some more here. The release of the new State of the Industry report comes ahead of the GDC Festival of Gaming, which will run March 9th to the 13th in San Francisco. This year, the organizers behind the Game Developers Conference have reworked the event into the renamed festival that will focus on a larger portion of the gaming industry with additional tracks of programming. Yeah, pretty cool. You can probably go more and more into GDC. It's honestly like a big nerd conference for industry execs, sales, just overall tech guys kind of stuff. Developers, like it's pretty cool. I like reading about it more just to see what the gaming industry is doing. You don't often see, uh, what do you say, like new games. Like that's the Summer Games Fest.
oh
That's
yeah,
for the games.
yeah. It's never
Like
announcements, right? Just like
yeah,
let's come together,
GDC's
talk
for
about
the
what we made.
devs.
You know,
Well, yeah,
yeah. Let's come
like
together,
where's the industry
talk about what we
going?
made. What are our processes as a studio, whether that's development,
Yeah,
organization, like leadership, and it's just a
marketing. Yeah.
giant like kind of like I don't know industry sort of showcase for like developers specifically. Um,
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's very much like an intro kind of thing. Like I don't even know what to say. It's like if you're in the video game industry and you're a developer, you probably have a set of culture that you're aware of, and you just want to see like what other studios are doing. It could be a recruitment opportunity for a lot of
I
people.
mean, yeah, good networking event.
Yeah,
That's the
great
thing. It's
networking
like
event, I think.
I mean, even as just a player and a consumer, man. Like I'll watch some of the recordings of some of the conferences because they'll record some of the presentations, and it's
Oh yeah,
fascinating to see what studios are doing. Because they'll just be like, "Yeah, this is how we made this game. This is our
yeah.
processes. This is what we learned," kind of thing. It's a great way to see if you need to change anything in your processes.
Hey, you know what it might also be for? So like the private equity share like holders that are purchasing EA, maybe more private equity firms or more like investment firms would be going to the game developers conference to see what developers are presenting. Like what is their future hold? Are they a healthy investment? Should I go for this? Should I talk to the CEO of that company? It's like I believe in this game, it's going to do well. I want to be an early adopter kind of deal. I could see that being a thing. Or just like new tech. I want to see some new VR, man. That'd be cool.
It's it'd be cool. I mean, I think there's some firms that probably would do that, but there's
Hmm.
some like they just don't care, man. Just like give me the. I see that
Give me the
that game
money.
made a lot of money. I want you to remake it right now. Different IP.
100%.
Do it.
Yep.
I don't
Reboot.
care. I don't care. I need it done in 18 months. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Crunch time, baby. Crunch
uh,
time. You want the dream?
and then
Start
they
grinding.
just like poop out a turd. It's like, what'd you
And
expect,
then,
man? You rushed us.
yeah. Yep. Yep. Don't get me started with that. Speeding up engineers. It's like, come on, man. oh my gosh, there's so many mistakes. It's like, oh, shocker.
You can get these 10 things done in the next month, right? Cool. See you.
Yep.
See you. Check
Oh,
on
thanks for asking, brother.
check me in February. Have fun.
You're gonna get me ranting on the pod. All right, let's go talk about some reboots here.
A
Speaking of
game that I
which,
hope does well, right?
yeah, facts, facts.
Eddie McCutch. McCutch at GameSpot. Covered Eddie plenty of times on the show. Fable Reboot is just mind blowing, Microsoft boss says. I messed around with the combat and the living population, and it's just mind blowing. Yeah, for those who don't know, I mentioned at the start of the podcast, but last week was the Xbox Developer Direct, and the main showcase was Fable, what Playground is working on. So let's get into it in a little bit more detail. One of the big reveals of the recent Developer Direct for Xbox was the first gameplay showcase of the Fable Reboot, and now a top Microsoft boss has further hyped it up. Craig Duncan, the head of Xbox Game Studios, said in an interview that the Fable Reboot is coming together well, specifically singling out the game's so-called living population feature as being mind-blowing. He said this to Games Radar amid a response to a question about if he felt it was a risk, in quotes, for developer Playground to make an RPG after working exclusively on the Forza Horizon series since 2012. He said Playground working on Fable is, quote, really about this relentless pursuit of excellence. Duncan said Playground made the Forza Horizon series bigger and bigger with each new installment. But, in quotes, what does that mean for Fable? I played a bunch of the game, I messed around with the combat and the living population, and it's just mind-blowing, he said. The living population in the Fable Reboot is the term that Playground is using to describe the game's cast of 1,000 plus NPCs. Each of them has their own specific roles, personalities, and daily routines, and are described as persistent NPCs. As you play the game, you get to know the names of the individual NPCs. You get to know what they like, what they're looking for in a partner, where they live, where they work, all that kind of cool stuff. It's an extra dimension to traditional NPCs, Microsoft said, of the living population. Also in the interview, Duncan said the original Fable trilogy from Cinch Shutter developer Lionhead had some really special ideas. For the reboot, however, Playground is taking some of those ideas and putting a modernized spin on them, he said. Quote, my brain pops every time I think about the living population, how it works, and what it adds to the overall game. It's an incredible invention, and Fable is going to be an incredible RPG, Duncan said. It will be amazing to see what players do with it, and it'll be massively shareable. I love when we make things I'm excited to play as a player. The Fable Reboot launches later this year on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It's not the only new title coming this year from Playground, as developers are also launching Forza Horizon 6 this May. Yet another big Xbox franchise is getting a new release this year, as Halo Studios launches Halo Combat Campaign Evolved at some point this year, which is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. Way to sneak that in.
Right?
Jeez. All right,
Just
Eddie.
making the shout, dude.
All right, Eddie.
Making the shout.
Sneak that in.
Let Xbox know what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, just let the video play kind of as we talk. But yeah, it's a snippet from the developer direct, an article. So I think the living population thing, and that's what it excited me too. Seeing that you have these NPCs and you can apparently like each one has like lines of dialogue too, and it's like tons of dialogue, and they all react to what you have done. Some people obviously have more of a liking to you than others, and people have their own perspective of you. It's kind of how they presented it. So again, I'm just excited to see if that really is going to mean anything, how that's going to interact with the story. And like RPGs are obviously like every good RPG choice actually matters, right? And you see all the RPGs talking about how like, oh, your choices matter. And then you get in the game and it's like, okay, well, this is like 3 or 4 lines of dialogue that literally just single back to like one path they want me to go on. And I can't, and nothing really changes that. I'm hoping that's not the case with Fable. Yeah, man, I think it'll be. I mean, there's also creative character too, which they showed, which I thought was interesting. It's not just like one specified character that they've seemingly been showing throughout much of the kind of the the videos and whatnot leading up to this game. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see kind of how in depth the story is, how deep the characters really are, and how significant choices will actually be. Because again, all the best RPGs do it well.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. And hopefully they're just not being super embellished. Like
Yeah.
it would just be a shame. I don't want to deal with another situation where we get all this hype and then the moment you load it up, it's like, oh, so we're just So this is just a cash grab for you guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, come on, don't do
I
that to me.
I mean, they talk about how it's truly open world too, and like it's cool seeing the landscapes and all that, and kind of how
Yeah,
all that's. It's really cool to see kind of it just all like I don't know like that could be half of it for an RPG, especially if it's set in like kind of older medieval times. It's like okay, how did like how do the landscapes look? How do the buildings look and the cities? And so hopefully there's some detail there. That's all I'll say.
yeah. I just we gotta need it, but don't rush it. Let's make sure that this actually is a finished product.
Yeah.
Don't just ship it out, Microsoft, because you haven't had a good game in a while. Don't do that to me. you
Yeah.
know?
I will say this is very brief for those watching the video. They show like a little bit of a real cutscene, it looks like, and it's got that like slight camera shake that kind of God of War had. And there's something
Yeah,
about that
dude.
filming where it's like, oh, that could be good. That could be good.
It
It's
can
like
be
when
really
you have
cool.
that like kind of just like subtle sort of like I don't know. It's just you could tell it was like mo-capped and like a lot of time
Yep.
was put into it. So like that gets me
Um,
excited a little bit seeing that in cutscenes. It's like, all right, we could have something here. So
yeah, we could be talking. Like you entice me. Let's keep it going.
yeah, it's I don't know. I go into it with a cautious optimism, given kind of how long it's taken. We're just now seeing stuff about it. It seems like gameplay's still framey and it's not quite there yet. So I'm hoping
Mhm.
again, I'm hoping in that sort of like last span they really QA it and bug smash and kind of get it optimized.
Yep.
So that's the hope, right? Um, but
Yeah. Yeah, 100% is.
but
I
also
always love these like developer direct kind of things where
yeah,
they show what the game actually looks like when they're running programs and stuff and rendering. It's like that's cool. Like standing over behind their shoulder while they're working. That'd be so much fun.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man. I think I don't know, like watching I think watching like I've been watching a lot of like TV shows and movies lately, obviously with Lord of the Rings and like The Boys and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I've been watching all these shows and I'm seeing how good how actors can really carry a story. Like obviously good writing is important, but like
yeah.
if actors can really like play different parts and play the different emotions and everything, it really plays into that story. So it's like
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that the acting is like top notch in this because that really plays into I think telling a story effectively and actually getting invested.
Yeah,
And that's
I
all you
feel
want
like
in an RPG.
yeah, I feel like they have the ability to do it. I just don't want them to overcomplicate it, Just like make a game that's fun at the end of the day, and
Oh
then
yeah.
get that story going, and the rest will just carry. It's just I'm looking forward to it. It looks really good. It looks almost finished
Yeah, I
with how
mean,
clean everything is.
yeah, certainly. Again, I think yeah, I mean, you could tell they've put a lot of time into it so far, so
Oh
that's
yeah.
certainly intriguing. But yeah, so I mean, it's cool to see the studio. It's like a studio's all the way in like I forget where it is, like only in Europe somewhere. It's just like
Oh
cool
yeah.
seeing
It's
them.
probably it's probably like in Poland or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's I don't know, but I be able to say like also the directs, like to your point, it's like Xbox Freak really does a good job of like getting like
Yeah.
32K cameras in there and like getting them all set up for these interviews, and it's like it flows really nicely. Xbox does a pretty good job production wise on these directs, so it's cool
Well,
to see.
Playground's British, by the way.
Ah,
It's in Leamington Spa.
hey man, all I'm saying is Europeans know how to make a good know how to make a pretty good RPG. You know, I always get excited when
Oh
I
yeah.
hear kind of either Poland or I don't know Sweden or
I
whatever. Like,
I mean, they got the OG stories, dude. They're
yeah,
at the source.
that's the thing too. It's
Just
like you're
just
at the
pull from
source,
your like 2,000 years of history.
exactly,
Go pull
and
from the
like
dark ages or something.
the thing is, like, you just like hop over to like France or something like that. You see all the architecture. It's like it's so easy to get
Oh, it's
inspired. I feel
gorgeous.
like too for these
Oh
older
yeah,
kind of medieval games. You know,
100%. When
yeah,
you're out there for the first time, because it's so freaking old and there's so much history, and like you can really get caught in it. I really felt it
yeah.
multiple times when I've been over there, but the one that kind of blew my mind because I hadn't been to Liverpool as an adult until recently, since last year. And when I was there, you just see like Liverpool is a city that's kind of poor. They're struggling financially. It's not the wealthiest city in the more like it was at the height of the British Empire. And when you're walking around and you start seeing these buildings that are from that era, they look freaking stunning. And it's like, holy crap, what happened? It's just like there's something that went down. You feel the same way when you're walking through like Paris, Spain, even. Like there's
Yeah,
so many like the old castles and stuff. It's like that's got to get you inspired to like write stories. Come up
yeah,
with something, you know?
yeah, for sure.
That's pretty cool.
Only seen pictures.
We don't have that.
I gotta go in person one day, so badly. Um,
Oh,
it's I don't know. It's on my bucket list for sure. So it's gonna happen. But
just make it happen, dude. My buddy right now, he just basically has turned into a freaking passport, bro. One of them's going to Colombia like 3 times a freaking year. The other one is I think he's current like he was just in Pittsburgh last week and now he's going to Spain for like the second time in the last year.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
wild.
crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, dude, another thing about this game too, it's like they talked about. They kind of tease you could literally like romance, start a family, get divorced. Like they kind of tease about all that,
D-
dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I'm gonna make a goal. I want to get on my fifth wife in this game.
Dude, my man's gonna make you're gonna start getting wives and getting babies and ditch them immediately.
I just, I just like. I would never do that in real
You're gonna be
life,
the
obviously. But it's like this is your opportunity to just live the complete opposite lifestyle. So I'm gonna do
you're
it.
about to be the you're about to be the game's Genghis Khan.
Oh
You're
man,
conquering in more ways than one.
I'm gonna own every
Mo-
business. It's gonna be great.
Monster activity, dude. Diabolical.
It's gonna be great. Can't wait. But
No,
yeah, no.
that's cool.
I'm curious to see how involved that actually is, and if you can actually do that. It'd be so funny if you could just like marry, get divorced, have kids.
Yeah,
It'd be hilarious. So we'll see.
would be pretty
You
funny.
can kick chickens. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that too, and it like morphed and teleported into a guy or something
Yeah.
when it hit the ground. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of cool features. Hoping for the best, man. I really am. Hope for the best.
Yeah,
Don't have to wait too much
it'll be
longer
cool to see.
if they're on time with delivery. So hopefully they
Yes,
are.
well, that's the big one. Yeah.
Got to talk about Lord Gaben and his company.
Yep. All right. So we're talking about Valve next.
Sure are.
Good old Valve. So Diego Aguilera, I think his name is. We've covered him a couple of times. He's a contributing writer, editor, news guy from Game Developer. So this one is kind of a short article, but it's like just kind of worth mentioning. I hadn't really heard much about it online. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's actually kind of crazy." Valve usually does people right, I feel like. So to hear that this is hopefully this is like a hiccup, we'll see. But anyways, Valve is now facing lawsuits over developer commissions on Steam. The lawsuit could require Valve to pay damages of up to $897.7 million. How is that possible? Well, let's get into
That's
it.
a lot of money.
So, dude, it's almost a billion. Let's call it a billy. Um, okay, so developer and digital distribution company Valve is facing a lawsuit over claims it allegedly charged publishers excessive commissions to sell their games on Steam. The figure of the damages, which is provisionally estimated, is proposed to be up to 856 million pounds or $1 billion USD. The news was shared via Reuters. Is that right? Yeah, Reuters yesterday after a tribunal in Britain ruled the case could continue. According to the press release, Valve was sued in June 2024 on behalf of up to 14 million people in the United Kingdom who bought games or additional content through Steam or other platforms since 2018. Vicky Shotbolt, a children's welfare advocate, is the person in charge of bringing the case. Shotbolt's lawyers allege that Valve is preventing publishers from selling products more cheaply or earlier on rival platforms to Steam by imposing conditions on them. For example, the allegations claim the company requires users to buy all additional content through Steam if you've bought the game through the platform, locking in quotes, users to make purchases on its platform. I remember that being talked about. I was unaware it went as far into it has into lawsuits. This has been going on for close to 2 years now.
Yeah,
Do you remember hearing about that?
vaguely, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I will say, here I go defending the $1 billion company.
Oh, this
I
guy.
my assumption when I buy a game through Steam is like if I'm gonna
That's
buy
where
the
your purchase.
DLC, I'm gonna purchase it through Steam, like just instinctively, right? Like I just be like, all right, I bought the game on the platform, I might as well just buy everything on Steam. I never thought about like buying the game on Steam and then being like, let me go to GOG and buy the DLC. You know what I'm saying?
I think I don't like the idea of being locked in. Like
I
you
mean,
have
yeah,
to make the purchases
I
through the
mean,
platform. That's annoying.
if there's a choice, yeah, I wouldn't want it to be. But like, I was always under the
Yeah.
assumption of that. So again, that's on me.
Sa
But
I think we're under the assumption of that because it's so common. It's
yeah,
like games used to be exclusive to one platform for forever. So when you got the DLC, it just kind of made sense. Like we had, if you think about it, N64 had expansion cartridges. That was kind of DLC.
yeah.
Like
I mean, well,
in
I
that
think
era's version.
yeah. I mean, you think of Xbox, right? Like, obviously, you're going to get the DLC on Xbox. You have the game on
Yeah,
Xbox. Like,
yeah.
so,
But if this wins, like specifically this one, I think it could help out consumers a lot because I think it might give you the option. Dude, imagine you get the option to sell DLCs
be kind
instead
of
of the
crazy.
game.
Yeah,
Like sell it partially. I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
yeah.
But you
I
should be
don't know.
able to like honestly, we should cut the BS and buy directly from the the company themselves.
Yeah, just take
Like
DRM and just throw it in the trash. I agree.
seriously, like what are we doing? Especially on PC.
Yeah.
Like
I mean that
I
yeah,
already
that's
pay for internet.
it goes back to the thing you don't own anything you buy, right? Like we've been saying it
Yeah,
for years. I mean, because it's true. It's like I mean, when you buy someone's Steam, it's a Steam license. It's a key to a license that you need to log into your Steam account to access. You can't just
it's annoying.
and you can't play the game offline, right? Like you have to be connected. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean then and that's where like obviously like GOG, like that's where they come in, right? Because they give you the DRM free version, so
yep,
you can actually you don't need to be connected to anything to play it, which is nice. So
true.
there does exist retailers, but obviously it's like Steam just kind of has like the lion's share of PC gaming right now, and
So
it has for ever since PC gaming's been a thing. So
they have like an iron grip on the entire situation, and
yeah,
it's incredibly annoying. Very, very annoying.
yeah,
Okay. Where we at? Are we at yeah, Shot Bolt's lawyers?
yep,
Cool. Shot Bolt's lawyers said at a hearing in October that this allows Valve to charge unfair and excessive commissions of up to 30%, a figure that has been public knowledge between game developers for years. According to the press release, Valve argued the case could not be certified to proceed towards a trial, an early step in the proceedings. Yet, London's Competition Appeal Tribunal ruled the case could continue. As of yet, no date has been set for the trial. In 2021, Overgrowth developer Wildfire Games filed an antitrust lawsuit against Valve, claiming the extraordinarily high cut of revenue that Valve takes from Steam developers gave the company an
yeah,
unassailable monopoly on PC game distribution. At the time, Wolfire added that Valve uses its market dominance to extract high fees from developers and pointed out Steam's one standard 30% store fees, claiming the company has illegally monopolized the market for PC game distribution. Valve eventually filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit and said its 30% sales cut accurately represents the services it provides developers. Then in late 2023, or sorry, 2021, the lawsuit was dismissed. District Judge John C. Coffey-Noor said Wolfire failed to prove that Valve's fees are supra competitive. I mean, come on, dude. This lawsuit was then filed in 2022 and eventually combined with a smaller antitrust lawsuit filed by Dark Cat Studios. Then in November 2024, as reported by Game Industry Biz, the studios were granted class action status, transforming the antitrust lawsuit into a potentially much larger dispute. As such, the class action applies to any developers, publishers, or individuals who paid a commission to Valve in connection to a game sale on or after January 28, 2017. So it basically started with one small studio, expanded to two, 2 years later, and now we're full blown anybody that's touched Valve or sold products on there can
yeah,
join
pretty
up.
much. I want my
That's
money
kind of
back,
nuts.
Valve. I've spent like a grand, like I don't know, way more than that probably. Like I spent a lot of money on games over the past decade, dog.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I freedom to purchase, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're a
I
developer and you're losing out, that I think it's one of the things we talked about with the benefit of doing indie games on Xbox as a publisher or developer. Xbox doesn't really take your money. It's like they kind of sign you up to be on their platform, but then they reward you through the Game Pass membership. So it's like
do exposure.
the better your game, yeah, the exposure you're kind of getting sort of for free in a way. You had to pay a cut anytime somebody comes on and like plays your game on Game Pass. But yeah, I mean,
Look, I mean,
odd.
I will say I think it makes sense and would be totally. I think it'd be in Valve's best interest, right? Since they have such a lion's share of the market to like
Hmm.
upcharge even more on their developer or their publishing fees, right? Like using their platform. I mean, from a
Oh
business
yeah,
standpoint, that just makes sense. And they could easily kind of, just gouge out that fee and really try and strip more for the developers. So I think it's reasonable to assume that they're probably doing that. I mean, not being able to provide evidence, I'd be curious to see what um, this developer provided as evidence, but then also like, did you try taking your games to other distributors and like seeing what their cuts were? Um, and because like
yeah,
I feel like you'd almost like that's like the bare minimum if you want to build a case, right? It's like you at least need to go and see what others are offering. So
yeah. You got to go
I,
shop.
I don't know. I find it hard to believe that they said there wasn't evidence to prove that because I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to prove, But and it's something fishy could be going on there. I don't know. But hey, you got other developers coming in, and now we're building out a case, baby. We're gonna get
Yeah.
our money back, Mike. Gonna make
Bring
it
it back.
right.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of nice to see that like there are some lawsuits that are trying to help out developers, and it's also trying to help out the consumers. Hopefully, it doesn't backfire on consumers, and all of a sudden we have to pay like twice as freaking much money for half this stuff. Um, yeah. Anyways, kind of cool.
Yeah, is
Cool to know,
cool. It's interesting. Something to follow. See if they actually squeeze almost a billy out of Valve. That'd be crazy.
dude. I don't think there's any way if that happens, it'll be like international news, just
Yeah,
cooked. Insanity.
right. Better start selling more Steam Decks, Valve. All I'm saying.
Facts. Hey, the Steam Deck is. I think at this point we could probably call it a hit.
Oh yeah,
You know,
easily. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it
it
seems
was
to
a
be good.
roaring success, Which is why they need to iterate
Mm,
on it, make another version, and then charge $1 billion because of SSDs. See what I'm saying? Like, there's
yeah.
it's a prime spot right here, Mike, where they could just like take advantage of the consumer
Yes.
more than they already have.
Yep.
uh, man,
It could get ugly.
yeah, it really could, man. I wanted to get an SSD this month, or especially with like tax season and stuff, because I'll get a little bit
Mm.
back because I never do my taxes correctly. So
Oh, nice.
probably get a little bit back. So I was like, oh, I get an SSD, but it's probably gonna be $1,000. So I don't know.
That reminds me, I gotta do my taxes like next week. I'm gonna get. No,
Same.
this isn't gonna be a bad year. I'm back. I'm back. Last year was pretty rough. I owed a buttload of money,
Oh
but
no.
this year I don't expect to get anything back. But I owed a bunch, so that to me is a win.
Yeah.
The goal, if you didn't know, is to have zero,
Yeah. No. And
zero
like it was
return.
so funny because growing up, I like my parents always got a return because they never mess with their filings or like their
Yeah.
withholdings. So like they would just always get a return. And so I just like growing up, I was like, oh yeah, you're supposed to get a return, right? Like that's how it works.
Uh,
But then they were like, well, you're
just
technically supposed to even it out, but like they don't really care if you don't. So it's like okay,
exactly. Yeah. It just one of those things, I guess.
yeah, it's whatever I guess, however you want to do it. But I'll probably end up getting a little bit back. So we'll see. I need
Mhm.
to file soon though. Tax
Yeah,
season.
better get on it. Crazy how to file our taxes. So silly.
It's wild, man. You ready for
Mhm.
to be snowed in, to do work,
Uh,
and then play games?
I mean, kind of. Last this week on Monday, I didn't go to the office because allegedly, well, actually, I gotta bring that up to my coworker. He said he came into the office on Monday, and I told him I was like, "How's that possible?" Because I got a message that said that the entire building would be shut down on Monday,
They
and he
lied
just
to
showed up anyway.
you.
Yeah, it's like he's so in a habit of going into the office. He's been doing it his entire life, so it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what makes you comfortable, man. But now I'm thinking about it, it's like, nah, I'm not going to the office. No chance. And I'm not going into the office probably this Monday either. I want a good snow day. I want to see how my doggy,
Yeah.
reacts to the snow.
Yeah.
See,
Great
see what my boy
experience right
does.
there.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't suspect to be going in Monday. If it's gonna be cold, dude, like the snow's probably gonna stick a couple days. So
Yup.
I don't know if I'll
It's
be
gonna
going
be
at all
weird.
next week, man. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to like fuel up on some food. Make sure we're good.
Oh
Got the
yeah, yeah.
snacks in.
Yeah, I've already made a couple
Um,
trips this week, so should be
yeah,
good.
that's
But
gonna
yeah.
be probably my main focus. Just make sure we're good there. Everything else, man, we chilling. We chilling.
All
Gonna
we
try to
do
get
is
into the
vibe.
gooping. Yeah,
Yes,
gotta goop.
sir.
Gooper gonna goop.
Sir.
All right, fam. Shall we let the people go? I'm getting a little hungry right now. We just hit the hour mark. Let's let them out.
Yeah, dude, I
Let's
gotta
let
edit
let's
this
let the
thing.
friends go out. Yeah, we're doing it late because I was getting cooked yesterday at work,
Yeah, I
and then I
could.
had a show to go to. So we out here. All right, fam. So for those of you that don't know, if you're new here, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. We have links in the description below, along with timestamps of the articles and just general sections of what we covered and what we yapped about. So check those out if you want to. We appreciate you for tuning in. I'm Michael Anthony. That's Kyle Heath. And this is the M2 Podcast. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you later. Cool. Keep gaming. Peace out.
Keep everyone. Bye.
Adios.